Students, T.s. Eliot, an important poet, critic, and dramatist of the 20th century English literature, has written a revolutionary drama or revolutionary play, The Murder in the Cathedral, and this is a poetic play written in the ancient Greek style. In today's lecture, we want to discuss the summary of this play. See, this play is actually a play which presents the story of the Archbishop Thomas Becket's murder, which actually took place during the reign of King Henry II in 1170. This play is written in two parts, okay, and in between these two parts we have one small interlude. So this play is not written in acts and scenes as we generally see in English literature. Who are the major characters? Then remember, chorus is used as an important classical device, and chorus has been presented as one of the characters of this play. So the chorus, then we have three priests, then we have the protagonist of this play, Thomas Becket, and then we have four tempters and four knights. So these are the characters. Now let's see what actually happens in part 1. In part 1, the play opens with a group of singers. Okay, they say that Archbishop Thomas Becket has been away from the Canterbury Cathedral for last 7 years. Let me tell you that Thomas Becket was a saint. He was an archbishop who was living there, but then he had conflicts with King Henry II, and King Henry II had exiled him. He had asked him to leave the country, so that's why he went to France for 7 years. After 7 years, he is going to come back. Then three priests on the stage, they arrive, and these are the three priests who actually served Archbishop before 7 years in his past days. Okay, the chorus feels unsecured and worried to know that Archbishop is going to come. Why? Because they have a feeling, they have a fear that the king will kill this Archbishop who is their spiritual leader. Then we have the scene of temptation where Becket enters the scene and is shortly approached by the four tempters, right? Tempter number 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are actually the agents sent by King Henry II. These four tempters, they tried to tempt Thomas Becket towards the worldly material pleasures. But Thomas Becket, who is a spiritual man, he denies all the tempters' proposals and he decides to be a martyr. Okay, he is ready to sacrifice his own life for a noble cause. So it's this scene presents a fight, a psychological and spiritual fight between good and evil. Okay, in our own lives also we must have you all must have experienced this conflict between good and evil many times. Various people, various things and situations, circumstances, they tempt us to live a material life, to live a worldly life, but man's only motto and goal should be to achieve salvation, to keep away from these temptations. Then here part 1 comes to the end. Then we have an interlude. Okay, in this interlude Becket delivers a long lecture, a long religious lecture which can be called a sermon, and in that sermon he addresses the audience who is present there in the cathedral, and he asks that he tells them that there is an importance of suffering in one's life. You suffer in order to make others' life happy and easier. So that is the central message which he delivers in his speech there during the interlude, and that is also the message of the Bible. Then part 2 begins, okay, in which the four knights who are the agents of this King Henry II, they come one by one, and one by one they laid some charges against Archbishop Thomas Becket, and they say that king has asked him to remain present in the court in order to defend the charges. But then, Thomas Becket says that if king wants to meet me, if the king wants me to be in the court, I request the king that he should allow all other my followers also to remain present as witnesses. But then these four knights, they say that that's not possible, and they live there after that sin. Then we have another scene of murder of Thomas Becket. Knowing that the knights will be returning to murder Archbishop, the priests try to persuade him to go and hide somewhere. Okay, but Becket refuses this. Becket says that I am not afraid of anything and anyone. When the knights come back to the cathedral, the priests keep the door closed in order to not allow the four knights to kill Thomas Becket. Okay, Becket, however, demands that the priest should open the door, as the church policy is that the church allows anyone to enter the cathedral. And then the priest opened the door, and the four knights arrive enter the cathedral and kill Becket. So this is how Becket is murdered. Okay, now the drama is about to end. The final comments towards the end of the play present the three priests and chorus. The chorus tries to express their sorrow after the death of Thomas Becket. The three priests conclude that Becket's death was a manifestation of faith and that the church is stronger for it. The four knights then turn to the audience. They also come on the stage and offer their arguments in defense of their decision to kill and murder Becket. The play ends with the chorus asking God to forgive them that they could not understand the value and importance of such an important spiritual person in their lives. So this is how actually there is nothing that happens on the stage. Only one action takes place in the play, and that is the murder in the cathedral, murder of Thomas Becket.